Hello everyone, my name is Alexis and welcome to class today. We're going to begin seated on your mat. So come to a seated position however is comfortable for you. I'm just in a regular cross-legged position. You can always prop yourself up on a block or a blanket, or you can sit in Virasana, hero pose, on your heels if that is more comfortable for you. Wherever you are, find your most comfortable seat. And throughout today's class, we're going to be working with a mudra and a mantra. So for the mudra, that's a hand gesture if you're unfamiliar. With both hands, you're just going to bring your ring finger and your pinky finger down into your palm and cover them with your thumb. We're basically making a peace sign with both hands. Now you can rest these either in your lap, backs of hands on your thighs. If you can reach the ground wherever you are, go ahead and reach your hands out to your side so your fingertips touch the mat beneath you. This is known as the Boo Mudra, and it is a very grounding, rooting mudra. Oftentimes this mudra is associated with the root chakra, and it helps us tap into the earth energy beneath us to feel connected to the earth, to where we come from and where we're going. As you're sitting here, just begin to breathe. If you practice Ujjayi breath, this is a beautiful place to bring that into class today. We will be connecting to the earth and opening up through our heart today. The theme of today's class, as I've called it in my notes, is bloom where you are planted. There is so much going on in the world, so much uncertainty, so many situations that we can't change. And of course, I'm going to preface this all by saying if you're in a situation, abusive relationship, abusive job, or simply a situation where you feel your inner voice telling you to go, you should honor that. But very often, what we need most, what is most beneficial to us is a perspective shift. Something that I find so inspiring in nature, in plants, is that when their conditions change, plants just can't uproot themselves and walk to a more appropriate spot. If a cabbage plant is in a garden underneath an apple tree and the apple tree dies, the cabbage plant has to adapt. It can't lift itself to find another apple tree to rest under. And so often in our lives, we find ourselves maybe with harsher sun than we anticipated, or wetter roots than we would really like. In today's class, I really want to focus this idea on wherever you are, you can find beauty in your space. And that's the mantra we're going to be working with today is, I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. Because even when things are grim, even when things maybe are not exactly how we want, maybe there's things in our life that we wish we could change, but maybe we can't change them. We have to wait to change them. We have to wait for our circumstances to change. There's nothing wrong with waiting, and there's beauty no matter where you are. And like I said, if you're in a negative situation, obviously, of course, that's when you uplift your roots and move. But in many situations, the goal isn't so much to move ourselves as it is to adapt, as it is to learn how to change, as it is to embrace transition. And when you're in those phases of life where you need to embrace transition, embrace change, the best thing you can do is root down into the earth and find the beauty around you. And that's what today's class is going to be entirely about. Let's take a couple more breaths here in your seated position with your hands in Boo Mudra, resting in your lap or by your sides. And think that mantra to yourself a couple times. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. Take one last deep breath in Release your hands into your lap. Open your eyes. Give yourself a little shimmy. And we're going to begin right away in boat pose, in supported boat pose. So feet planted on the mat, open up across the chest, and you're going to bring the hands behind you, fingers facing towards your hips. From here, press into your hands and just open up across your chest. Our peak pose today is Wild Thing. If you've never done Wild Thing before, that's okay. That's where we're going, and we're going to work our way there together. Maybe look up to the ceiling. Feel your chest open up, creating space in your ribs and your heart. Keep the feet firmly planted on the earth beneath you. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into tricep dips. Now you can stay with your bum on the mat and you're just going to lower your triceps behind you, lifting and lowering your torso up and down. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, press through the heels, press through the palms, lift the bum off the mat, and lower through your tricep dips here. These are a lot more challenging. Really press through the heels of your hands, through the palms of your hands. Press through the heels of your feet to help keep you stable. Keep going wherever you are, lifting and lowering. Tricep dips are always so hard. Beautiful. Go ahead and lower your bum back to the mat. And if you're not already, turn to face the long side of your mat. We're going to come into half butterfly pose. So bring that left heel towards the groin and extend the right leg out long. Now your right leg doesn't need to be extended as far out as mine is. I just want you to find a comfortable spot for your leg to extend. From here, lift up nice and tall from the hips through the spine and exhale, fold forward. Flex that right foot as much as you can, almost as if you could get your toes to reach your face so that whole right leg stays nice and activated. And then just breathe here in your forward fold. This doesn't need to be your most dramatic or most intense forward fold. We're just doing this to start to wake up the muscles that we're going to be using when we move into our full Wild Thing. See if you can relax in your hips even as that right leg is nice and active. And then press yourself up to a straight spine. Bring that left hand behind you and just push your hips up and forward. Bring that right arm up and over to come to your baby Wild Thing. And lower back down. Inhale, press back up into baby Wild Thing. Beautiful. Press the hips forward. Lower down. We'll do that one more time. Press the hips forward. Lift, reach back, open up your chest, and lower down. Very nice. Look at you. You already did baby Wild Thing. Mission accomplished. We're going to switch sides. So extend the left leg out long this time. Bring the right heel into your groin. And same thing. Flex the left foot. Inhale, lift up tall through the spine. And exhale, fold forward. This is a pretty widening stretch in your hips. So see how much you can relax in your hips, but keep that left leg super active. That's what's going to really help you get a nice stretch in your inner thigh, in your inner groin, and help you open up your hips. So poses like Wild Thing, and also this helps with lizard and lunges and things like that, helps open up your pelvis and your hips. So those poses are a little bit easier. When we talk about opening up our hips, this is what we're talking about. Take a couple more breaths here, in and out through the nose. If you want to keep up your ujjayi breathing through this whole class, go for it. It's up to you. If you don't know ujjayi breathing or you don't practice it, don't worry about it. Come back up to a straight spine. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, lift the hips up and forward. Left arm reaches back and overhead, and lower down. Inhale, lift up, lean back, baby Wild Thing. Lower down. And last time, inhale, press into the feet and the knee, lift up, arch your back, lower down. Very nice. Beautiful. Bring both knees in, and from here, we're going to come into tabletop pose. So set yourself up for success. Like I always say, hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists, press through the palms, press through the shins. Imagine your belly button is lifting your inner organs up to your spine. Take a deep breath in and out here. Feel the stability of your mat beneath your hands. And then begin to move through your cat-cows. Inhaling to open up the chest, exhaling to round the spine. I want you to really focus on matching your movement with the length of your inhale. So your cat-cows might look different from mine. You're going to inhale, and for the whole length of your inhale, you'll open up your chest. And then when you begin to exhale, you'll curve the spine. Match the length of time that you spend doing the movement to how long your breath is. We'll just do a couple more here. Beautiful. And then come back to a nice straight spine. And from here, take a big step forward with the left hand and a big step forward with the right hand. Keep those hips over the knees and lower the chest down into puppy pose. Now, really important, I want you to keep that belly button pushing back to your spine to keep your core nice and engaged and to prevent sinking in your low back. So that area of your body is going to be really active, but then you're going to relax through your shoulders, through your collarbones, and let your sternum fall towards the mat. You can keep your arms planted on the mat, or if you want to bend at the elbows and bring your hands together into prayer behind your head, you can do that as well. And then just breathe. Here, relax in puppy pose. This is a beautiful heart opener, and especially if you sit all day, if you work at a computer all day, if you drive a lot, if you're hunched over, maybe you're carrying your children or your pets, this is a fantastic one to really release and open up through that part of your body. Just a couple more breaths here. This can be a difficult pose, so if you need to come out at any time, do what you need to do. If your elbows were bent, go ahead and lower your hands, and then press yourself up into your tabletop pose once again. From here, we're going to bring that right foot forward in between the hands, coming into our low lunge. Inhale the arms up overhead, let your hips sink forward, and make sure that right knee is directly over the ankle. Exhale, cactus the arms. And inhale, straighten the arms up to the sky. Exhale, cactus the arms. Very nice. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms once more. Open up across the chest. And then from here, bring your hands down, pivot that left leg. It's almost like you're coming into a supported plank. We're coming into a half warrior two. So that left knee is parallel to the short edge of the mat, and that right leg is open out to the side. Bring the arms straight out like warrior two and begin making arm circles forward. Beautiful. Moving nice and big arm motions here, and then reverse. Arm circles back. Beautiful. We're going to sneak in a little bit of an arm workout here in our half warrior two. Beautiful. And bring it back to center. And then we're going to come back into low lunge. So pivot that left leg back behind you. Step the right knee back. And we're going to repeat the whole thing on the left side. So left foot up between the hands, coming into low lunge. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms, open up across the chest, and then plant the hands on the mat. Swing that right knee so it comes behind you, and lean into that left knee. I'm going to just turn around on my mat so I'm facing towards you so you can see me here. And then bring the arms out to the side. Turn the palms facing up, and we're just going to do bicep curls here. They might seem a little easy at first because you don't have weights. These are weightless arm exercises, but we're going to be doing this for a little while. So activate through your shoulders, keep your core nice and engaged. Imagine there's weights in your hands, or maybe you're wearing wrist weights. Keep going. Ooh, very nice. Bring those bent arms in front of you and just pulse up and down, getting into the triceps again a little bit. Pulsing 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Quick little pulses here. Working all through the shoulders. Beautiful. Open the arms out to the side, and then come back into your left side lunge. Step the left knee back into tabletop. And then from here, curl the back toes under, walk the hands forward just a little bit, and press into your downward facing dog. Walk it out, bend through the knees, Lengthen through the spine as much as possible. Press through the heels. Send the sternum to the mat. Make as much movement as you need here. And then bring that right foot between the hands, coming up into high lunge. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, cactus the arms. Still opening up through the chest. Beautiful. Bring the hands down to the mat, step back into plank, and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. We're going to come into Sphinx Pose, another pretty gentle chest opener. So slide the elbows underneath your shoulders, shine the heart forward, just like we do in cow pose when we're working through cat-cow. Press through the tops of the feet so you can lift the knees off the mat. Press the hip bones into the mat. And then glide the shoulder blades back together. This will kind of allow you to open up across the chest even more. Wild Thing is a pretty large chest and hip opener, so that's what we're going to be working with. Lower down, press yourself up into plank and back into downward facing dog. Very nice. Well done. Take a breather in your downward facing dog. And then bring that left foot between the hands. Lift on up into your high lunge. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, cactus the arms. 2 more times. Inhaling to lift the arms. Exhaling to cactus the arms, opening in the chest. Last time. Exhale. And then bring the hands back to the mat. Step back into plank. Lower yourself all the way down into the mat. And now we're going to work through some deeper back bends. So plant the tops of the feet to the mat so your knees lift. Push the hip bones into the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And on your inhale, lift the chest up into baby cobra. Maybe even lift your hands off the mat and see if you can hold yourself in your baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up into baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Just move like that, flowing through, lifting up into baby cobra, lowering down. Inhale, lift up into baby cobra, lower down. Beautiful. Just a couple more. Last one. Lower down. And this time, walk the hands so they're off the mat, just out of your shoulders. Your fingers can be up on your fingertips, or you can have your palms down. That's how I like to do these. And then from here, inhale, press into the hands, lift all the way up into full cobra, and lower down on the exhale. Inhale, lift up into full cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up into cobra. Exhale, lower down. This last time, inhale up into cobra and just hold it. You can sway side to side if that feels good, kind of like a snake. This is Cobra Pose after all. Press the hip bones into the mat and lower yourself back down. Press yourself up into plank and back into downward facing dog. Very nice. Press through the heels, press through the hands. Walk your feet to meet your hands into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, and roll yourself all the way up to standing into Tadasana. Make sure your feet are hip width apart, and then just bring your hands to rest on your heart center. And let's reconnect to the mantra that I shared with you at the beginning of this class. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. So much of changing our perspective is being able to find contentment where we are at. A lot of that is inner work, changing how we're seeing a situation, changing our mindset from a negative one or a scarcity mindset to a positive and abundance mindset. A lot of times to change our situation, all we have to do is start to see the world as an abundant, bountiful place as opposed to a scarce, negative place. Inner work, being able to find beauty wherever you are, that is what brings joy. Joy isn't found in things that are outside of us. It isn't found by pursuing the next program, the next purchase, the next diet, the next cute outfit. Joy is found within contentment and being able to find beauty where you are at, wherever you are at. So take a couple more deep breaths here in your Tadasana and repeat the mantra to yourself. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. Take a deep breath in and out through the nose. Open your eyes and inhale the arms down, around, up, overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat, step back into plank, and make your way to downward facing dog however you want. I'm not doing a flow or a chaturanga, but if you want to, you are welcome to. When you arrive in your downward facing dog, maybe walk it out, press through the heels, whatever you need to do to get comfy in your downward facing dog. It can be nice to spend a little bit of time here, feeling into all the different parts of your body in this very full body pose. Maybe bend the knees, really push through the hands. Beautiful. And then from here, inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee and open up the hip, just like we talked about in our half warrior twos. We're trying to stack the right hip on top of the left here. If you can't, that's totally fine. On your next exhale, bring that right knee to the chest, plant the right foot down and come up into your high lunge. And we're going to cactus the arms again. Inhale the arms up, exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, sending the shoulder blades back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Very nice. Bring the hands down to the mat. Heel toe the foot to the right side of the mat and lower the back knee to come into lizard pose. From here, if you want to sway side to side, you're welcome to. If you want to move forward and back, you're welcome to as well. If you want to lift that left knee off the mat, you can do that too. It's up to you. Lizard's a tricky pose, so find what feels good in your body today and accept where you are, right? Accept where you're planted in your mobility and your flexibility with lizard today. From here, step back into plank. Hold the plank just for a moment. Press through the hands and then lower the knees and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Again, we're going to work through a couple more heart openers. Bring the hands back by your sides, palms facing down. On your next inhale, just lift the shoulders off the mat. And exhale, lower them down. On your next inhale, lift the legs off the mat and lower them down. Inhale, this time lift the chest, lower it down. Inhale, lift the legs, lower them down. Inhale, lift the chest, lower it down. And inhale, lift the legs, lower them down. This time, inhale, lift the shoulders off the mat, lift the legs too, and then lift the arms, coming into your locust. You can stay here if this is challenging. If it's too hard to have the arms lifted up beside you, that's fine. Just put them on the mat beneath your shoulders. If you're feeling good in locust and want to kind of move forward, bend at the knees, reach your hands back to grab your ankles, flex the feet, push the ankles into the hands, and you've arrived in bow pose. Open up through the chest as much as you can. Press the hips into the mat. Pull your hands back with your feet and try to keep your knees together as much as you can. We don't want too much of a splay in the knees here. And then if you were in bow pose, release the legs back into your locust and lower down. Beautiful. Give your hips a little shake side to side. Maybe give the shoulders a little shimmy. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press yourself up into plank, and press yourself back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Well done. Bend through your knees, one knee and then the other. Finding what feels good in your downward facing dog. And then inhale the left leg up to the ceiling. Open up your hips, try and stack the left on top of the right. You can bend that left knee if that feels good, if that kind of helps you open up your hips. Take a deep breath in, open up through the hips, and then exhale. Pull that left knee into the chest, plant the left foot between the hands, and come up into your high lunge once more. Just like we've done in every lunge so far. Inhale the arms up overhead, and exhale, cactus the arms, shoulder blades kiss behind you. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, shoulder blades hug behind you. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, cactus the arms. Beautiful. From here, bring the hands down to the mat. Heel toe that left foot to the far edge of your mat. And you can, again, we're coming into lizard, so you have a couple options. You can lower that right knee to the mat. You can keep that right knee lifted. You can rock side to side. You can rock forward or back. Find what feels good here. If you want blocks underneath your hands, you can do that as well. Up to you. This doesn't need to be the most intense lizard you've ever done in your life. Simply find what feels good. Wherever you are, step that left foot back to come into plank. Lower yourself down to the mat. And from here, we're going to move through those chest openers again. Bring the hands back by your sides. And on your next inhale, lift the shoulders off the mat, lift the legs off the mat, and lift the arms, coming into locust. Shine your heart forward like it's a light you can follow. And if you want to come into bow pose, bend the knees, flex the feet, push the heels into the hands as if you could open up your chest even more. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Again, if you practice Ujjayi breath, you can come back to that too to bring a little bit more awareness to the practice. Wherever you are, lower yourself back down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, press yourself up into plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. You're doing amazing. And now is where we're coming into Wild Thing. And don't worry, I'll give you a couple options. From here, inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee, open the hip, just like we did before. You can stay here and just focus on opening up the hip. Or if you want to try Wild Thing, you're going to do what's called flipping your dog. So that right heel, that right foot is going to come behind you. You're going to flip onto your left hand, and that right arm is going to reach up and over. So it's almost like you're coming into a side plank, but you have your right leg behind you to sort of act as an extra support, and you're opening up through the chest. Beautiful. Wherever you are, come back into three-legged dog, and then just lower that right foot back down into downward facing dog. And again, walk it out, bend through the knees, lower the knees to the mat, and sit back into child's pose, just for a quick breath break. Wherever you were, whether you did Wild Thing or not, great job. You've almost done this entire class, and that in and of itself is an accomplishment. You are where you are. Find joy in that. You're doing amazing. Come back up into downward facing dog, and we're going to go to the other side. Inhale the left leg up to the ceiling, and bend the knee, stack the hips, opening up your hips. And again, you can stay here if you want to. This is a beautiful prep pose if you do want to try and go to Wild Thing. If you want to come with me into Wild Thing, pivot your left foot behind you so the toes come down to the mat behind you, or maybe the wood, and then pivot all your weight onto that right hand and the side of the right foot, and the left arm comes up and over, opening up across the chest. Maybe while you're here, smile. You're in a pretty awesome opening, expansive posture. I hope it feels good. If you're in Wild Thing, come back to three-legged dog, and wherever you are, come back into downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward to meet your hands, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, and wherever you are in your forward fold is great. It's where you need to be for now, and that's a good thing. Breathe, tuck the chin into the chest. Feel that nice extension in your spine. Maybe sway side to side if that feels good. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other to get a nice deep stretch in the back of each leg. Beautiful. Bend the knees and gently roll yourself up to standing. Inhale the arms up overhead and exhale, pull the hands to heart center. From here, we're going to come into Yogi Squat. So bring your heels so they're a little bit wider than your hips. Toes are out, kind of at a nice angle. Bend the knees and come into your squat. You might be higher up, you might be halfway down, you might be all the way down. Wherever you are is okay. All of those places are good places. You're still going to get the benefits of Yogi Squat no matter where you are. Press the arms, press the elbows into the knees to open up through the hips. Maybe sway side to side again if that feels good. Breathe in and out through the nose. And then from here, we're going to pop right back into boat pose. Full boat this time. So I'm popping right into full boat. If you need to bring your hands under the thighs, you can. If you need to lower the toes to the mat, you can. Find your version of a boat pose, wherever that is. Lift up through the chest, spine nice and long. Activate that core. Again, imagine your belly button is pulling your inner organs back to the spine. And then let it go. And we're going to come back into the same poses we started with. So bring that left heel into the groin and extend the right leg out. Inhale up nice and tall and exhale, fold forward. And check in with yourself. Do you feel different now in this same pose that we did at the beginning of class? Does anything in your body feel different? Does anything in your heart feel different? Do you maybe feel like your perspective has already started to change? And if you don't feel anything different, that's okay too. Bring that left hand behind you, press yourself up into baby wild thing. Reaching the right arm up and over, opening up across the chest. Inhale nice and deep here. We're just holding this baby wild thing. And then lower yourself back down. And this time you're going to pivot your hips so you're facing that extended leg. Your hips are square to that extended leg. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee, and we're just going to come into a gentle twist, twisting to the left. Inhale up nice and tall, twist to the left. You can either wrap that left knee with the arm, or you can have your arm up like I have it, up to you. Pressing through that left hand behind you. And come back to center. Come back to the middle of your mat, and we're just going to switch sides. So right heel comes to the groin, left leg extends out. Inhale up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. And again, check in. Where are you at? How do you feel? How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? And be gentle on yourself here. Sometimes our perspective shift needs to come from a place of grace and being kinder to ourselves as opposed to being harder on ourselves. Beautiful. Keep that left foot super flexed. Breathe and press yourself up. Right hand comes behind you. Press the hips forward, lean back, open up across the heart. Left arm swings behind you into your baby wild thing. So even if you didn't come into full wild thing earlier in class, you're still coming into baby wild thing. You're still getting all the same benefits as full wild thing. Lower yourself back down and then pivot so you're facing that left leg straight on. Bring the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Inhale up nice and tall and twist to the right, hugging the left knee into the chest, using your right hand as a kickstand. And breathe. extended leg, that extended foot super flexed. And come back to center. Bring the soles of feet together. And we're going to come into full butterfly. So inhale up nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward into your butterfly. And if you want to, you can bring your hands to your thighs just to push your knees down towards the mat a little bit more. Totally optional. Only do it if it feels good. If it feels like you're straining, if it feels like you're pushing something that shouldn't be pushed, don't do it. There is a difference between challenging ourselves and being harsh with ourselves. And again, you can sway side to side here in your butterfly if that feels good. And wherever you are, come back up to a straight spine. Use your hands to bring the knees together and pivot yourself onto your mat. And we're going to come to lie down, bending the knees, lowering your back down to the mat. And from here, we're going to come into Shavasana. Feet as wide as the mat, arms by your sides. And if this is uncomfortable in your low back, you can always bend the knees, plant the feet as wide as the mat, and let the knees knock in together. Again, like we've done in this whole class, find what feels good and trust that that work is valid and good. You've done a lot of hard work today. You made a lot of different shapes with your body, and even if your shapes didn't look like mine, you were still doing the work. And that is an accomplishment. That is a huge thing, and I'm so proud of you. This is a nice, juicy, long Shavasana, so I'm going to leave you to it. You don't need to think about anything in particular. You don't need to breathe in any particular way. This is where you let your body and your mind and your heart percolate and digest all of the work that we did. If you want to, you can repeat our mantra in your mind. I open my heart to the beauty around me. But that is optional and not required. Only do it if it feels good for where you are right now. Enjoy your Shavasana, and I will cue you out in just a couple of minutes. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Make circles with the wrists and the ankles. And if you were chanting that mantra to yourself, you can release it for now. Reach the arms up overhead if that feels good for a nice full body stretch. And then make your way up to a seated position, however you like. I like to just pull my knees into my chest and rock my way up, but if you want to come into fetal pose and then up, you're welcome to do that too. Come into a comfortable seated position, and we're going to come back into that mudra. So we're basically making a peace sign with our hands, sticking the pointer finger and middle finger out, using the thumb to pull the ring finger and pinky finger into our palm. And you can rest this on your lap or extend it out to your sides, fingertips touching the mat. And breathe. I open my heart to the beauty around me. There is so much beauty to be seen and absorbed around us, and so many lessons to learn from that beauty. For instance, for this class, I was inspired by the beauty of the plants around me and how resilient and transient they can be, how they can adjust and adapt to changes in their environment that maybe they didn't want. And like I said at the beginning, there is so much uncertainty in this world and in our life. But just because there is uncertainty doesn't mean that there has to be negativity, because change isn't always bad. More often than not, change is good. Change can be what we need. So no matter where you are, no matter what your life looks like, I hope that this class has given you a sense of peace, a sense of shifting your perspective in a way that can help you feel a little more rooted wherever you are. And if you are in a place where you shouldn't be, if you're with someone you shouldn't be, working a job that isn't good for you, I hope that this class can also inspire you to seek out beauty. Because sometimes the change that we need is to leave behind our proverbial garden bed and find a new one. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Beauty can be found whenever we choose to look for it. And when we choose to look for it, and when we let ourselves see it, that is when we find contentment and joy, regardless of our circumstances. Continuing to breathe, continuing to hold that mudra, that boo mudra. Repeat the mantra with me a couple more times. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. I open my heart to the beauty around me. Go ahead and release the mudra, bringing your hands back into your lap. And take 3 breaths in and out through the nose. Begin to feel the room around you. And then bring your hands to heart center, dipping the chin into the chest. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope this class was beneficial for you. I loved planning it and putting it together, and I hope that it gave you some comfort. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe because I have more classes coming your way. And until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.